Tonight, the big wet that's flooded homes and cut roads could it soon deliver drought-breaking rains to inland areas.
Ross River Dam now more than 70% full. What next for water restrictions?
Queensland poised to steal the NRL Grand Final. Could it happen?
An emotional reunion for 140 troops back from the Middle East.
And standing the test of time, a major milestone for a local family business.
This is 9 News North Queensland.
Good evening. The big wet that's flooded parts of North Queensland could soon deliver drought-breaking rains to the state's inland areas.
It's also created havoc on the roads, isolating Townsville with evacuations and multiple rescues.
Waterways turn to whirlpools. Roads turn to rivers. At Yabulu, the highway was soon cut off completely from the relentless rain. Even trucks carrying sandbags were turned away and motorists left stranded.
I'm trying to get to Cairns. I'll have to ring up and let them know that I'm not coming back.
He was one of the lucky ones. On the other side, swift water rescue teams were called to save a man trapped on the roof of his car at Saunders Beach and offered assistance to 2 people who were stranded at their home.
The simple fact of looking at this and knowing that no one has been severely injured and no one has been killed is a testament to the ability of our emergency crews.
In Dirrigan, the creeping floodwaters caused a childcare centre to be evacuated. Parents wading through the water and waste to rescue their little ones.
I sort of knew it was coming from yesterday, but look at it, I mean, it's crazy.
Other residents are well past the point of wading. All they can do is watch and wait and deal with the devastation another day. Tom Fowles, 9 News.
And an even bigger storm is about to smash Queensland, travelling right up into the top end. Nicole has more.
Sam, the heavy rain and severe storm activity isn't over yet. The worst hit areas tomorrow are expected to be in Queensland's far west, and with localised flood warnings still in place for many regions, the severity of floodings could be the most serious we've seen in more than 40 years. Now, as a trough moves up from northern New South Wales through Queensland and into the Northern Territory, we will see that wet weather quite widespread. Now, surprisingly, Queensland as a whole has had the driest summer since 1989 to 1990, but all of that rain last month means that coastal areas recorded near to above average rainfall. I'll let you know more soon.
North Queensland residents are being warned to brace for more flash flooding as the local disaster management groups and emergency crews remain on standby. The complex weather system sitting over the region looks set to bring rain to Townsville for at least 2 more days.
Torrential rain continues to fall across the north. The supercell delivering more than 300 millimetres in the past 24 hours in parts of Townsville. Major flood warnings have been issued for the Bowley and Horton rivers, with warnings also in place for Ross and Black Rivers and Bluewater Creek. The Bruce Highway going under this morning, closed to the north and south of the city.
I don't think I've seen it flowing like this for a long time.
I think it's probably been about 6-7 years since we've seen rain like this.
The deluge triggering rock slides on the Strand overnight, with engineers called in to inspect the site. The local disaster management group and emergency crews remain on high alert.
We've opened the Bluewater evacuation centre. Some people have chosen to self-evacuate because they are on that river system.
Though the weather system sitting above Townsville is drifting west, more heavy rain and storms are expected for several days yet.
It is probably the most significant rainfall we've seen since 2014. That's when the remnants of Cyclone Ita went through the Townsville area.
Authorities warn residents not to be complacent.
Obviously, we get tired of reinforcing that message. If it's flooded, forget it.
Gina Mosh, 9 News.
And the rain has finally fallen where it's needed most, the Ross River Dam, more than doubling in capacity over the past 24 hours. It's now at 70%, meaning there could be a reprieve on water restrictions.
As the rain eased early this afternoon, the Ross River Dam became Townsville's most popular attraction.
It's just magnificent. It's great. Bring it on, more of it too, I reckon.
And it wasn't just humans keen for a look.
All the rocks are gone, the rock wallabies seem to be loving it as well, so yeah, and the little ones enjoying it, so yeah, it's all good.
Now at 71.5%, it's the highest it's been since February 2015. Just a week ago, it was at 15%. The trigger point for the most lenient water restrictions is 40%, so some residents want them gone.
We believe that they will change the water restriction because we got very much rain the last week.
We are tracking the updates every time.
But others aren't so sure.
Leave them as they are, otherwise it's just going to empty out again, eh?
Just hold on to what we got. As I say, if we're going to have a long, dry winter ahead of us, let's just hold on to what we got at the moment.
And that's the way council is thinking at the moment too. It'll be days before they meet to consider any change. Even then, it'll be far from drastic.
It'd be like going back to level 2, which still means sprinklers at certain times, a couple of days a week, but it does ease the burden on the community.
The levels are expected to settle somewhere between 70 and 80% this evening, which means there'll be no need to open the gates for any releases. Philip Calder, 9 News.
139 troops have arrived home to an airport full of family and friends this morning. There were plenty of emotional reunions as members of the Force Protection Element 8 returned from Kabul in Afghanistan after 6 months of providing